Rose. How we all doing? It is alive. Let me just fix this so you can see. It is alive. So I'm not talking to myself. Hopefully, I'm not talking to myself. If you'd like to join, I'd really appreciate it. They're a great bunch in the comments. If you'd like to join my Patreon, it's patreon.com/JessRose5472. I don't know what's happening with my hair this evening. It's all gone horribly wrong before we start. So I'm just going to wait for a couple of, look at this. I'm just going to wait for a couple of people to join and then we'll get started. Well, hopefully, I'm saying that I hope they'll join. This is the plan. I'm hoping they'll join anyway. But how are we all out there? It's Thursday. It's my last one for a couple of weeks. Was you here? I was wondering where you was. I was like, no one's going to be here. It's just me. How are you? How you doing, sis? How's it going? Have you had a good couple of days? Have you? Hey, I know I'm late, Warwick, unless you're talking to Tiffany. Hey, Hayley, how you doing? And Tiffany was here first, I'm afraid. But if you're on about me, I'm so sorry, Warwick. I was having a fight on the phone with my doctors, believe it or not. But yes, well, a late call from the doctors that I wasn't expecting. But yes, that's what I was doing. So that's why I was like, not intended. Hey, Phil, how we doing? How we all doing? Did I say hi to Hayley? I did, didn't I? She does like to send her photo shots as proof. It is a sore elbow. The sore elbow, I can't move it, but no, that's not what it was for. Believe it or not, it wasn't. It wasn't for that. It was for my back. I'm just a walking ailment, Warwick. That's just who I am. What can I say? Terrible, but the elbow still is sore. I keep holding it up. I was only laughing to Tiff about it at the weekend. I was like, I keep doing that, and I know they can't see, but Tiff's my witness. Tiff was my witness that it's awful, and I can move it this way, but I can't move it that way. It's terrible. Look at you, still going on about it. I took it and sent them to you to show us how. Yes. Oh, is SS screenshot? Ha! Check me. Took me a second there to realise what SS would mean. So, guys, it's my last one for 2 weeks, and I'm hoping I've got one that you haven't heard of. That's what I'm hoping. That's the plan. Has any of you have any of you heard of this one? Just wondering. Sorry I wasn't here on Tuesday. As I explained, your moderator extraordinaire decided to keep me there for another day. Kind of, well, no, it wasn't her. I begged. I was like, I want to stay another day. And I did get back Tuesday night, but it would have been far too late. Far too late to do it. So I am so sorry. I am so sorry about Tuesday. But I'm here now. I'm here before I go away because it's only there's no Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday. 5 sleeps. No, because I'm not even sleeping Monday. 4 sleep. She did steal my children. She stole them. But I have 4 sleeps before I go like this and like, very excited, as you can tell. So excited. Can't wait. It's going to be ace. Is Kelly back? Do we know if Kelly's back? It's been a week now. I don't know how long she's gone for, actually. I know Sharon said, Sharon messaged today in the Patreon saying that she didn't think she'd be able to make it tonight. Well, I can't remember what she said now. Can't remember what she said, but she did say she can't make it into the Patreon. She said in the Patreon she might not be able to make it tonight. I'm sure that's what she said. Oh, do you know, I'm terrible. But that's Sharon. Kelly, not sure if she's back. Natalie, anybody. But if it's just us, it's okay. They can catch up tomorrow. That's fine. So are we all okay, though? Are we all good? Yes? Yes? No? Yes? No? It's okay. It's okay. Goes here that way. How are you two? Oh, yes, Warwick's good. Warwick's good there. Oh, and the communion went fabulous, as I showed you the pictures. So good. It was amazing. She had a fantastic time. Does it still stink of that? That's a shame. That's a shame. That's why I had to get out there. And say that I had to move away. She's terrible. Look at my face. Look at me trying to hold her face. She's awful. I'm going to get Warwick and Phil onto you because I'm trying to just smile through. I'll have to have my seal bath soon. Oh, stop. It's already happening. It's already happening. Is that what she says? The room service is that good? Excellent. That's what I'm hoping for. Oh, have I just... No, I'm not. I'm not hoping for that. Is that an innuendo? Is it an innuendo? Is it on double entendre? I know them two words. Is that what that was? I think it is. She's terrible, Phil. She's awful. Peace and disappointment. You're horrible. This is terrible. And I'm mowing it as well. I'm mowing it on the low. Do you know, I actually went through with Tiff the other day and I was like, it's so hard because I try my best not to repeat what's being said. And I've said before, it comes out my mouth as I'm reading it. Terrible. Right. As Warwick says, my arm's sore. Yes, it is. It is quite sore. But it's not going to stop me with this story tonight. I don't know why I'm speaking posh. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that accent is at all. But tonight's one, the Brutal MarcWilliamsStory, it's a little close to home, is this one? In a sense. Only in a sense. Because Mark is a YouTuber. Okay? That's how I know that's just a little bit to this story. That's why I've said it's a little close to home. She has stop it. She has heard a lot about my arm, but you know what? You have to. Because if I'm reminded every time I lift it, then you have to be reminded every time I lift it. I'm great company. I am. I'm just the best. I'm just all happy all the time. No, I am. I'm quite a cheery person. I am, honestly. Take the notice ever. But I do moan about my arm. I do. Okay. Should we start? If you're watching tomorrow, don't know what difference this makes, but I'm about to start now, if that helps. But other than that, why aren't you here? You should be here with us all. As you can tell from my cryptic speech, it's all going on in the comments, and I have to try and ignore a lot while I'm talking. So they're a good bunch. So you should be here. Okay, so we start then. Okay. Like I say, the Brutal MarcWilliamsStory, and it is brutal. It's awful story. I've seen different creators, let's say, do this story. The one where I did get a little bit of information from was a gentleman by the name of, I was just looking then because I don't think this is his name, but this is the name of his channel. It's Ape, APE, Huncho, HUNCHO. I've seen a couple of his a bit of his content, and he's ever so good. He's very, very good. So that's where I got a little bit. Now, ape, as in monkey. Ape, not app, ape. I'm gonna sack you. But yeah, he's really good. Don't catch him every story. I will own up to that, but the ones I've seen, he's very, very good. And I was struggling with a few bits on here, so I was like, I wonder if Puncho knows. I wonder if he knows. As it happens, he didn't. But he's actually done this one as well. So if you wanna top spelling, Tiff. Top spelling. Right, I'm staying out of it now. Okay. So Mark Williams. Now, the reason I was saying I was looking a little bit further is there's not a lot on Mark. Right. No, there won't. Okay. Okay. I'm phasing this side out. Okay. So there's not a lot on Mark, I will say, from really much before where I'm going to take up in this story, which is a shame. I do like to at least at the very least have a date of birth, but I haven't even got that. Okay. I've got his age at the time of doing the story, but I haven't got those early details of him. But what it was with Mark, he had a YouTube channel, right? And it could be inconsistent at times, but what he'd do, he was like, he did parkour videos, and he was trying to follow in the footsteps of, I haven't got the name of the, I did write it down. Please bear with me. I did write this YouTuber down who I don't actually watch myself. And I can't find it. When I come across it, I'll tell you. But he's following it on in those footsteps anyway. And where Mark is from a place called Uckfield in East Sussex. It is an English story. And he just wanted to follow in their footsteps. So he began his first YouTube channel was opened as in January 2018. His first channel was called Rooftop Legends, and he'd go out with his younger brother. I've seen things where the younger brother's called Lee Williams, but I've only seen it on a couple of things. Now, either he's been kept that way or that's not his name. I believe it is, but take that bit with a pinch of salt. But he was going out with his younger brother. Now, the thing with Mark, he seemed a very nice boy, quite shy. But all he wanted, like many of the stories I do, although I don't believe, and the videos I've watched of Mark, he doesn't come across that he had any special needs in any way. So it wasn't anything to do with learning difficulties or nothing like that. But he just had trouble making friends. And he just wanted a friend, just a friend, really, that he could like laugh and have fun with. And his mum had said he was very trusting, he was very innocent, and he always wanted to believe the best in people. This was Mark. Just even in his videos, it comes across that he seemed very sweet. He's 18 at the no, he's not. When he started the videos, I apologize. When he started the videos, he was about 15 in 2018, and he did it with his younger brother, and they just go around like closed buildings that that had been closed down for a while, and he'd film himself jumping through and walking through these old buildings. And then like the mid 2010s is when that really took off, didn't it? And the parkours, or the let's go through this abandoned house and see what happens, it was that kind of content that was up and about that time, and that's what he wanted to do. And they'd get caught sometimes by security and stuff, and so he'd film him getting chased out of these buildings, and that's kind of what his channel was about. Then he changed it to RoofTube, changed it to that eventually. And then he was caught again by a security guard running over the rooftops of a building. And around this time, his brother didn't want to be part of the channel anymore. But what I will say about Mark, he was quite inconsistent with his content. He'd put up 4 or 5 videos a week, and then you wouldn't see him for 3 months. It was that kind of, it was very hit and miss with him. Now, at this point, when he kind of come away from it for a little while, he said it was while he was, bear with me, what was he doing at this point? He wanted to go for a job interview as a PCSO. So it's a police community support officer. That's what he was doing at that point in that break, and he'd failed. It didn't happen. Not too. He didn't really give away the details of why it hadn't happened. He did say his back was starting to hurt, so maybe the jumps he was doing in his channel and things like that were having an effect on him. So then, in 2019, he relaunched his channel again for the third and final time, called Displace. Not Displaced, Displace. That was the new channel he launched in his name. Obviously, like I say, his brother's no longer part of it. And then in November 2020, so he didn't really still do much with it. 2020, obviously we know what happened there. We won't talk about that time. But in November 2020, he came back. It was his first video in nearly a year at that point, and it was just, he was promoting the channel. I'm coming back to you all. So that was November 2020. That's where we come up to. And like I say, still quite inconsistent with the uploads around this time. But he with his consistent ones and with his new channel launched, he started to gain a bit of traction, did Mark, and especially around where he lived in his local area. You know, he started to get known through, you know, through being run out by the security guards, and it's all being filmed. And when he was on top of buildings, he used to shout out, "This is Uckfield." Now, Uckfield in East Sussex, it's quite a small community. It's got quite a small place to live, quite close-knit. So he'd shout out over the buildings to people walking past, you know, shout out his YouTube channel and things like that. So it started, like I say, it started to gain a bit of traction. His subscriber count started to go up a little bit. And it started to become like sort of a small local celebrity, bless him. Now, at this point, Mark is now 18. Okay, this is the age of Mark. And then we enter Lewis Ashdown. Okay. Lewis Ashdown was a subscriber of Mark's. All right. Lewis was 19 at this point, also from Uckfield as well. Like I say, he was a subscriber to Mark. And what he actually asked was, you know, in one of the comments, he just basically said, "Look, can I tag along in your next video at all?" And he did. He started to join him in his videos. There was 2 in November of 2020. And Mark and Lewis began a friendship off the channel. They began a friendship and they'd see each other off videos and everything else. You know, Mark felt that he'd got this friend now, and he spoke about him on the channel. He was obviously in the videos with him, and it seemed to everyone watching and Mark's family, Mark's mum's called Lena, it seemed like that he'd finally got his friend that he'd wanted, who had a similar ambition, if you like, to make it on YouTube and to also doing something they love with the whole parkour content. So that's where it went. No, there was no videos for a couple of months, so it's still quite inconsistent and stuff. So we get to March 2021. Okay. Lewis does a video to say he'd been missing for those couple of months. Remember I said he'd been missing. He'd been missing this time. The first time was the PCSI badge. This time was because he'd wanted to get his SIA badge, which is security. He'd been training to be a security guard. Now, as you know, with him running around these buildings and getting chased by security guards and having the police phoned on him and stuff, if that's the route he wanted to go down, then doing what he was doing was probably not the best way to go about it. And in this particular video that he was doing, he was basically saying, look, I genuinely don't know what to do. I don't know whether to continue with the videos and the content I'm doing and hope that, I get to live this ambition I've got of being this YouTube star, or do I grow up? They're his words. Do I grow up and go full force into trying to get this SIA badge, and go down the security route? His words, grow up. Okay, that was what he said. He didn't know what to do, but YouTubing was his childhood dream. It is what he's wanted to do for a very long time. So all of a sudden, his subscribers start coming in because it's a live video. Don't give up. We're here for you. We love your content. Please don't give up on it and everything else. And then Lewis comes in to the chat and he's like, no, don't do it. We'll support you. Please don't give up on what you're doing. And it literally took seconds from when Lewis wrote in to Mark basically saying, right, okay, I'll give it a go. I'll give it another go. And he basically says that he's charging his new camera as they speak there and then, like he'd put it on charge. So Lewis, he liked Lewis's input and he respected it by the sounds of it. So when Lewis said don't give up, he was like, right, okay, I'm not going to give up. It's very, very sweet. So even though his back was bad and whatever he wanted to do. Oh, the gentleman he'd been following and looking up to that I'd meant to mention earlier on was a guy by the name of Ali Law. That was his idol. I don't know. And I sound awful because he's probably huge. I don't know him though. I don't watch that content. I'm not really into parkour and that kind of stuff. Unless they have accidents. Not serious ones, but when you get a compilation of them go, I'll watch that because it can be funny as long as they haven't damaged themselves. But as for the actual content videos themselves, no, I don't watch them. So I apologize, Ali Law, if you're huge. Even if you're not huge, I apologize. But that was his idol. Okay. So now we come up to April 2021, right? And that in that last video I'd mentioned where he was saying, I'm not too sure I'm going to make it, what Lewis had actually said to Mark was, we'll do I'm not pronouncing it right. Boxstead Hotel. I think that's what it's called. Boxstead Hotel. We'll do that one. So that must have obviously spoke about this particular hotel. Apparently it was a high-end hotel that had been closed. Yes, we're going to do this hotel. And they do, and they film it, and it all goes very well and everything else. So they do that one. Then we come up to the 21st of April 2021. It's Mark's final upload onto the channel. And it's basically just Mark on his own, just going around where he lives on the rooftops and stuff. And, he said it reminded him of when he go up there with his brother and whatnot. So it's just one of those videos that become more poignant, I think is the word I'm looking for, as this story goes on. Okay, so that was Mark's final upload onto his channel. So no one thought any of it though, because of how inconsistent he was on his channel. So we get to the 20th of May 2021, and there's a text exchange between Lewis and Mark for them to arrange to meet up, just have a few drinks, hang out, it doesn't have to be for a video, but just hang out and stuff. So this was arranged for Saturday, the 29th of April 2021, when this meeting was to come about. So they'd arranged to meet in Uckfield itself, like the town centre, just for some drinks and some laughs and just to have fun. That's what they were meeting up for. But when he was on his way, Mark had advised Lewis that he was bringing his younger brother with him. Now, all it says on all these things that I've seen, like I said, I've only seen his name once or twice, but I haven't got Mark's younger brother's age. So I don't know just how old he was, but to be doing the videos with him, going out with him, I would imagine it's not, um, a huge age gap. But when Mark told Lewis that he was bringing his younger brother with him, Lewis wanted no part of it because they were going to be drinking. And he says, look, he's too young. I don't want any part of it. He's underage. I'll meet you later. So Mark, not wanting to let his brother down, he's just promised him, an afternoon out, early evening. So he continues out with his brother. And what happens is Mark gradually throughout the day does get quite does get quite tipsy as the day's going on. But anyway, Mark then, when he realises it's time to meet Lewis now, waves goodbye to his brother and off he goes to meet Lewis. Okay, so that's what happens. So they meet later and it's called at Maresfield Recreational Ground. That's where they meet. And while they're there, remember I said Mark's quite tipsy anyway, but they continue drinking and having a good time and having a laugh and everything else. But Mark starts to say, listen, I'm feeling a bit tipsy now. I might go home soon as the evening's going on. And Lewis is like, oh, okay, no problem. Just passing him drinks that were supposed to be Coke. And they weren't. They were whiskey and Coke. Now, personally, you couldn't pass me whiskey and Coke without me knowing what that was because the smell's horrific. But you don't know how drunk he was, how new he was to drinking. It could be many reasons. Plus, the colour wouldn't have done it on, whiskey and Coke. He wouldn't have noticed through the colour, but he didn't notice. So he's drinking these drinks that Lewis is giving him. Lewis is drinking too, but Mark had said he was going to stop. So around 11 p.m, they start heading back and they walk along Perryman's Lane, it's called. And when they're walking along that lane, Mark calls his aunt and he just says, I'm going to be back soon. Don't worry about me. I'm going to be back very, very soon. So while on the phone to his aunt, Louis shouts in as well. And he's like, yeah, I'll make sure he gets back fine. He's fine because don't forget Mark's quite drunk now. And that was it. That's what had gone on. So we get to March the 30th, 2021. So this is the Sunday. Okay. Mark and Lewis haven't returned to their individual homes. They both live at home and neither one returned home. Now, remember, we had that call at 11:30 the night before, but no one's heard anything from either of them since, right? So by that evening, the family are losing their minds, both families, and the Sussex police and the family all go out by that point and start searching for these lads. It's a small place. And although I suppose technically they class as adults, they were known and it was a small town. So it was very concerning that they hadn't come back or no one had seen Mark or anything else. No one's seen Louis. No one knows where these are. So it was a concern to everyone. So they all went out looking. So then we get to May the 31st, 2021, which is the Monday. Now, don't forget, the last we've heard or seen of either one of them, we believe, is the Saturday night at 11:30. This is now Monday morning. And Lewis walks into his house. Like, perfectly not acknowledging that, his family have been losing their mind for 2 days while he's been gone. And his mum actually said that nothing was unusual or wrong when Lewis came home. He gave nothing away that there was a problem. So she didn't think anything of it at the time. She just thought, oh, silly lads, presuming that I believe that Mark's got home as well. But he hadn't come home and the police go round. And when they come round to Lewis has already been and gone. He's now gone from his mum's house, but they come in. They come into the house, and they start having a look around because Mark's still missing. Lewis is the only one that's turned up. So when they're looking around, they go up to Lewis's bedroom, and hidden at the bottom of his wardrobe is his clothes, but they're covered in blood. Okay. So what they do, they pass these on very quickly to forensics and do like a fast track to work out whose blood this was on the clothes, because Lewis isn't there to ask. Mark still hasn't come back. So what's going on? So they basically fast track this off. It comes back very quickly, and it is Mark's blood. So a murder investigation from that point is launched, right? So we get to June the 1st, 2021. Now this is the Tuesday, all right? Now remember, basically he came home, Lewis had, he'd gone off again. So they haven't found him, and Mark's still missing. And now they've got these items of clothing, which are Lewis's, covered in Mark's blood. What the hell's going on? Like, nobody knows. So eventually, on the Tuesday evening, they find Lewis. And they find him at his friend's house in Eastbourne, which is 20 miles away from where they live. But that's where they find him. And at that point, they arrest Lewis for Mark's murder there and then. Okay. Now, it was Lewis's friend or his parents, I know it was one of them, that actually called the police, because I believe that I'm having to put, I believe, allegedly, I think, in all of this, because it's all very choppy. There's bits that are missed out on the info. I'll explain at the end, but I believe it was him who called the police, right? So Lewis's friend, who we have no name for, gave a statement to the police saying, "Me and Lewis were getting drunk on Jack Daniels. Out of nowhere, Lewis tells this friend of his that he murdered Mark." Okay. And you might be like, well, you can't base it on that. Wow. Actually, you can. Because Lewis recorded everything, and he showed the videos of what actually happened to Mark to his friend. His friend, all I can imagine is feelings upon viewing it, and I'll tell you why in a second. He must have been scared first and foremost, devastated for Mark, and wanting to get as quick and as far away from Lewis as humanly possible. That's all I can think would have been going through this lad's head. So this is the statement that Lewis's friend gave to the police. All right. It was said that back on the 29th, when Mark had phoned his aunt and says, "Look, I'm going to be back very soon." Don't forget, I've mentioned it a few times, Mark was very drunk. So straight after that call, he kind of stumbles into, like, there was woodland, isn't there always? Woodland sort of alongside the road they're walking. And he stumbles into this woodland and he starts getting sick. He's drank a lot. He starts getting sick. And you would think, well, he's got a friend there with him. He's not on his own. He'd be fine. But actually what happened was, this is a statement from his friend. Lewis told me he'd taken a knife out when Mark was bent over being sick. He'd taken a knife out. He'd actually taken a knife out with him from his mum's house. This is Lewis. And when Mark was vomiting and apparently starting to annoy him, he felt it was right to start stabbing him. Okay. He said that Mark, while he was stabbing him, was begging for help. Now, don't forget, this lad's watching this because he's recorded it. So he had camera in one hand and knife in the other. Ugh. So Mark was begging for help, begging for him to call an ambulance. I mean, the man's doing that to him, and he's so innocent. He still believes that he's going to phone an ambulance for him, which is just heartbreaking. He kept stabbing him because he just wanted him to shut up, apparently. All he wanted to do was kill. He said he felt good about it, and Mark deserved it. He said Mark deserved to die. This is what Lewis was telling his friend. This is a statement the friend has been telling the police. He said he thought about killing Mark before and wanted to do it. It was horrific, but he said he was glad he'd done it. And this lad says, when he showed me the videos, he was laughing. Are you ready for this bit? It does get a little bit graphic. He said when he was viewing the footage, he actually saw Lewis gouging Mark's eyes out. Both eyes out. Kid was 18. The other one was 19. Proper psychotic stuff. I was going into shock. I was shocked he came out with it, and I wanted to run and tell somebody. This is what he would in his statement to the police. Okay. So then on the Sunday night, back to the Sunday night, he leant down, he'd done that. Lewis had come behind him, began stabbing him. And then this is where he'd stabbed him. He'd stabbed him in the back, in the face, in the eyes, as we know, in the neck, in his genitals, in his chest, deeply into his leg. And even though he'd stabbed him in his eyes, he wasn't happy about that, and that's when he gouged his eyes out. And even after all of this, and there was 107 stab wounds. 107 stab wounds. And even after all of that, he decided just to kick him about for a bit like a football after he died. Just kick him about for a bit. And then he stripped Mark from the waist down, picked him up, brought him further into the forest, and just threw him into a body of water that was in the forest. Just utter disregard for this lad who'd opened up his life to him. Okay. Mark was actually found on June the 1st, so it was 3 days later. It wasn't. That was the oddest part of it. It wasn't. Sorry, if you're watching tomorrow, someone's asked, was there a sexual aspect to it? There wasn't. Not from everything I've seen, there wasn't. I don't know why he decided to strip him from the... I mean, he had stabbed him in his genitals, so... But it was said that he stripped him after, so I'm not too sure about why he stripped him. I don't know, but though it was said there was nothing sexual in it, and he just lifted him and threw him into the body of water. That's what's said. It said that was after. So, and yeah, he was found on June the 1st/2nd, thanks to the video evidence and obviously the friend coming forward. But Lewis, even though he's banged to rights, I'm doing this because of his phone. He's banged to rights because basically, remember I said he recorded it. The footage itself, although it's in clips, when all the clips are added together, they're over an hour long. It took over an hour for this to happen. That's the hell he put this lad through. An hour's worth of footage. I can't even imagine being the friend he showed it to, let alone what happened with Mark. Awful. But Lewis wants to claim, I'm crazy, it's crazy, I'm crazy. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's happening. Well, we happen to know, now remember, when they'd both gone missing, apparently, there was actually footage that was found afterwards of Lewis walking, where was Lewis? Lewis walking through, sorry, oh God, I'm cocking up here. Lewis was seen walking through a place called Chapel Green, which was 10 miles away from where this had happened. So that was the first known sighting of him. And then we found out through the friend who'd given the statement that he'd then gone to said friend's house, gone and had a couple of games of football, and then gone to the cinema. This is the night after he's murdered, brutally murdered, his so-called friend. And he goes to the cinema to watch The Conjuring. And someone says that with The Conjuring that he watched, I think it was the third one. I haven't watched them. I do like horrors, but they didn't appeal to me, The Conjuring. But apparently this particular one that he watched was this person who'd began killing people, but it was their mind was messed up and they were possessed. They said they weren't sure if he was attempting to go that route in his defense. They weren't sure. But it didn't work. It didn't work at all. It was on video. So when he realised that he was not going to get away with this so-called defence that he was going down, I don't know whether he's going to go down. I'm mental, you can't do it. When he realised it wasn't going to work, he then pled not guilty. Then pled guilty. My goodness. He then pled guilty. So then, October 2021 was the sentencing hearing. Now, like I say, he'd entered a not guilty plea. No! Why do I keep saying that? He entered a guilty plea. Sorry, ignore me. He entered guilty. Guilty. He tried to go not guilty. It hadn't worked. No one believed he was mental. He's guilty. Okay. Don't know what's happened there. So then they went through everything. It was said that even though it's a sentencing hearing, and you know the prosecution do get up and they do put their case across, and the defence will stand up and put their case across. It's not in front of a jury or anything, but they do put their, you know, what's happened across. But the judge says no to playing the footage that they'd found. That didn't get played in the courtroom. The judge just said it would be too distressing to everyone in the court. I'm assuming if he had have pled not guilty and they'd have had to have gone through with the whole trial, I'm thinking maybe they would have had to have played the evidence. It would have had to have been included. But as it happened, it didn't get played. And then, now, we always hear what I say about the Justice League, the UK justice system, and the American one. You know, we found out in the past couple of stories that even the American one, sometimes you're like left holding your head. What the hell? This one, he did get life. It's a life sentence, which we know in the UK doesn't actually mean life. But it does say he has to serve 27 years before he's up for parole. Now, I want to believe that he'll do 27 years, and technically he should. But does that mean he'll only do 15? Don't forget, this kid's even at his sentencing, he was only 20. So if he does the full 27, he's still out before he's 50. You know, and to do something like that, your mind's not gonna this rehabilitation. He's 19 when he committed this. Now, okay, you're not fully there, but come on, you know you're right from wrong. He would have known. So I don't know how much rehabilitation is going to do for him. So it does concern me that if he does get out, even at sorry, what did I say? 47, yes, before he's 50. Even if he gets out then, he's still, yeah, he's still going to be a liability. I'd bet my money on. But hopefully he doesn't get out. Hopefully people find out what he's done in there. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he plays up and he gets more time. I don't know. But I just don't think someone like that's safe to be on the streets at 19 recording that with the so-called friend. It's just horrific. And what's really, really sad is, do you remember me saying that Mark's last upload? I'd said, when did I say his last upload was? It was the 21st of April 2021. Okay. So it was only the month before this happened, but he turned round in that video, and it's very, very sad what he said. And he always said he was basically advising his subscribers. Basically, he was trying to give them little pointers if they ever wanted to go into that particular content, parkour, or going around old buildings that are shut down. He was like, look, always be careful, always have a mate with you, someone you trust. He actually says that. And he honestly believed that he could trust Lewis. And that was his last video. And I just found that very, very, very sad, because it's like he felt he'd found his kind of person he could bring with him to look after him, that could look out for each other. He'd said that sometimes when Lewis was with him, he'd go a little bit close to the edge and he'd protect him. And he felt he'd found that person after his brother didn't want to do the content anymore. He obviously felt he'd met somebody and a friend off YouTube that he could trust, and he couldn't trust him. And that was really sad for me. Like, I always have a stomach drop in these stories, and I think that was the one. It was like he genuinely thought, after all these years of just wanting a friend, just wanting someone he could spend time with and have fun with, that he could trust, that he thought he'd found him. And yeah, I mean, I don't know why. And to be honest, because Lewis pled guilty, like we say, there was no actual trial. So we wouldn't, and he's never actually said why. He's never given a reason at all. Not a motive, not, oh, I couldn't stand him, I was jealous, or, you know, who do you think? There was nothing that could lead you to the fact of why he did this, other than the fact what he'd said to his friend, that he was annoying me. What? But he brought the knife with him. He'd already brought that knife from his mum's house. So it wasn't like a spur of the moment crime of passion, you know. No, the crime of passion won't come under that, but you know what I mean? Like a spur of the moment decision he made and lived to regret it and everything else. No. This was obviously planned. So it's just very, very, very sad that it happened to him. I think it's quite sad that there's not much on this story at all. There's only a couple of creators I've seen that have covered it. There's hardly any newspaper clippings or anything else that you can find. It's a shame, really, that there wasn't more on this boy's story. But yeah, I just thought, with it being a YouTuber, I thought for my last one before I break up, I would share this one with you. And yeah, that was the Brutal Mark story. Very, very, very sad. And his eyes, why his eyes? There's only a couple that I've watched that there's only a couple that I've watched where they've gone to that extent. Kellyanne Bates rings a bell. You know, I know there's been a couple more, but taking someone's eyes, I just think it's awful. It's just it takes it that step beyond murder, doesn't it? It takes it that bit further. It's can't think of the words off the top of my head, but it's yeah, he should have got more time when you think about what he did. And 107 stab wounds. 107 times this other teenager stabbed this boy 107 times. The time it would take to that, and recording it, there's just so many bits to this that was just like, oh my God, absolutely awful. So yes, that was the brutal Mark Williams story. And if you're watching tomorrow, thank you so much. Why aren't you here? And I'm just going to see what these crazies in the comments have been talking about while I've been sharing that story with you all. What have you been doing in the comments? I did notice, Mum, but it was too late. Then I noticed there was French boy something. Is it French boy something? And then I wasn't sure. Oh, I'm glad I didn't see that one, Sharon. Did anyone say Fiddler's Creek? Because that I'd have broke. I know I would have. Is everyone is everyone okay though? Have we been having fun? Have we? Yes, thank you lot for being. Why are you thanking them? I do that. She's taking over everything. I do that bit. Called Mum. Did you call Mum Sharon? Did you? You're brave. What did she say? You're a brave soul. What did she say? Anything? Who was she? That's hilarious. Oh, I've done it once or twice, but as a kid, but I don't think I've ever said it as an adult. That's quite funny. And did I see you keep getting kicked as well? Did you get shouted at? Funny, yeah. I know I did in the past when I did it. I can't see people. Is Warwick still here? Has Warwick gone? I haven't seen Warwick. I can see Phil still here. And is Hayley still here? You thought it was normal, Sharon? Excellent. You should not know because she goes by, is it Tropic Thunder? It's Mum to you. Is that what she said? Is that what she said to you? Funny. It's Mum to you. Brilliant. Yeah, because I know, boys, she goes by that, or she goes by Sunshine Indie. Oh, I know that one's gone now, though, hasn't it? Indie Sunshine or something, isn't it? So I knew she changed it, but I wasn't looking, so I couldn't tell you. I couldn't give you a heads up that it was. Who was French? Is that Sharon? Is that Sharon? Our Sharon on the channel? Not Mum. I don't want. See, I'm the good daughter. I wouldn't call Mum Sharon. I wouldn't do that. It was Sharon's fault. Where's Warwick? Has he disappeared? He's quiet now that I can talk. Everyone's gone. Everyone's gone and disappeared. I haven't had a chance to say bye because I've got 2 weeks off now. Boom, too. Oh, have you been taking the pee out of him? Oh, no. What have you done? He wouldn't have got offended. He's got a thick skin. He's Warwick. He's got a thick skin, hasn't he? Oh, God, I've got to move this. I know I'm shaking yours. I've got to move that out the way, and I've got to stretch the old legs. But yes, I'm out of it for 2 weeks. But I'm not. It's not 2 weeks I'm off, but the way it's not a 2-week holiday, should I say, but the way it's going to land, it's best. I know he's gone. Warwick, I did notice the numbers go down. I genuinely think he's gone. Oh, Warwick, what did you do? I didn't even get a chance to say bye. Look what you did. I'll have to watch after and you can see that he's been missed. Oh, was he not? Oh, Warwick, I hope you're okay out there if you can hear us. But, well, if he does watch it back, you'll have to make sure you come back in 2 weeks. Probably wiping his tears. I'm not saying that. I just said it out loud, didn't I? You're getting mocked, Warwick. If you are watching, you're getting mocked by the other dudette. So I'd come back. I'd come back and hold your own. because she's calling you out. She's telling me you're crying. So that's what she says you're doing. So you're going to have to come back soon. But yes. Yep, dude. But yes, so like I say, I'm back in 2 weeks. Well, it'd be over the 2 weeks. So has anyone got a calendar on them? Because I can't look on my phone. I'm back. So that's the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. I think it's the 18th. I think it's the 18th. You tell him, Phil. It is only banter, worry. Come back. I think it's the 18th I'm back. If I'm right. Yes, that the Tuesday. Is that a Tuesday? Yes, so it's the 18th I'm back. God, that seems really long, doesn't it? That seems ages away. We're not even in June yet. Are we in June? Are we in June now? Completely lost my bearing. I don't think we are we? We're not there yet. So it just seems so far away, that does. But yes, I'll be back then with you all. But I'm gonna miss my lives, but I'm also gonna really enjoy my holidays. I'm very excited. I think Phil said the other day Tenerife. It's not Tenerife, Turkey. I'm going to Lanzarote. That's where I'm off to, Lanzarote. So I'm very excited about that. Really excited. I can't wait. It's going to be ace. The weather's supposed to be lovely as well. I'm not gonna lie. I think I've said it before. I'm not too excited about the flight, 4.5 hours. Yeah, I'm gonna struggle with that, but it's worth it when you get to the other side. So that's all I'm gonna be thinking. Lanzarote is away. Yeah, that's where I'm going. No, I think I'd noticed it was Phil or somebody put on there Turkey, and I was like, no, I'm not going to Turkey. Oh, thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. I might even have a bit of colour. What do you reckon? But it's going to be a few days when I get back when I'm going to be doing the live. So I'll look just like this. Just like this. Like I said in my other live, you're going to be like, did you go? No, you don't have to say sorry, Phil. That's okay. That's all right. I just thought I better tell you because you're going to be like, how was Turkey? No, I know what happened though. I'd said that me and Tiffany had been to Turkey before, and I have been a couple of times. So I think that might have been where the wires got crossed. But no, I'm going to Lanzarote for the very first time. I've never even been to Spain. I've heard it's like just off Spain, Canary Islands. I didn't think the Canary Islands were part of Spain, but apparently it's just off there. It's just off that area. So that's where I'm going. I'm very excited. So is anyone doing anything nice for the next couple of weeks? Is anyone else doing anything? Going away at all? Anyone? But if you're not, but I'll be back soon. I'll be back soon to keep you busy on a Tuesday and Thursday night. Don't be getting into any trouble while I'm away. And yeah, as this story went, it's scary who you just don't know. Oh, you've got Shadow, haven't you? Yes, because I am going away with my parents. My parents are coming too. So our moderator is having my mum's dog, who is a big German Shepherd. Yes, I think, yeah, it was either that or it was me talking about Turkey the last time, but I did think that, yeah, it was Kelly who went to Turkey. But yes, Tiffany is babysitting a big baby. He's a big baby and his name's Shadow, but he's very, very pretty. He's a very cute dog, but yes, he's huge. So that's what Tiffany will be doing. I did forget. But you'll enjoy it. You'll get a bit of peace there. Be nice and peaceful. So it'll be a nice little break for you, I suppose. But yeah, I'm going to venture off now. And I can't believe he's all upset Warwick, whatever he's did. But we'll find out on the next one, I presume. He obviously just had to go. He's like a horse. He honestly is like a horse. He's huge. He is. But yeah, thank you all tonight. And thank you to Tiff, my moderator extraordinaire, my peacock, and Hayley, and Phil, and Warwick, when he was here, and Sharon, and my mum. And I think that was it tonight, wasn't it? Is there anyone else I've forgotten? PJ hasn't come in tonight, has he? I haven't seen PJ at all. Don't think I missed anyone coming in. So, but thank you all. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And oh, I'm about to go. No, don't say no. I haven't done my jingle. I haven't done anything. So, if you are watching tomorrow and you're not here, please comment, and subscribe, guys. Comment, and subscribe, guys, please. Look, that looks like rolls on my neck, doesn't it? That looks like the neck's doing things. Comment, and subscribe, guys, please. Comment, and subscribe. Or you can join my Patreon, which is patreon.com/Jess Rose 5472. Or just comment, and subscribe, guys. It looked like my neck was doing one. It looked like chins, chin up, and the other one, Oh God, don't know what happened there. I'm not flattering myself there at all, am I? Comment, and subscribe, guys. Right, and I will see you all. Yes, on the 18th of June. Thank you all so much for joining me. What's that? What's that Patreon address? What's that? That's not it. I told you I'm going to sack you. You need a break. For 2 weeks. I'm going to put you on pause for 2 weeks. And then you can come back on the 18th. That's when you can come back. You can come back on the 18th. I don't want to see you a day beforehand. But yes, thank you all so much again. And I will see you all, like I say, on the 18th. And thank you. Should I just say thank you again? Thank you. You broke your phone. Don't break your phone. Don't break your phone. It's okay. I've said it a few times, so I'm sure they can see. Right then. See you all soon. Thank you again. And comment, and subscribe, guys. Comment, and subscribe. No night, everyone. No night, everyone. Don't break your phone. Comment, and subscribe.